So few points I'll touch here. So as of everyone know, Robert Hooke is the first scientist who discovered cell. Point out that discovery was made by Robert Hooke. He thought it was cell, but that was not cell. The discovery was done in 1665, around 16th century, and all his findings were written in a book called Micrographia. So this Micrographia is the book written by Robert Hooke himself. Okay. Then what Robert Hooke observed were not real living cells, but they are dead cells called the corpse cells. He had used microscope-like instrument, but the real microscope what we are using right now, the advanced stage of that microscope-like instrument, that was not real microscope actually, in fact. Then the next important point regarding the discovery of cell is Robert Hooke observed only dead cell wall. He didn't observe cell, he observed only cell wall. That's all. Okay. So he assumed that was a cell because till then nothing was discovered related to cell or cell wall. So this is discovery of cell. These things all we discussed in detail in the starting session of tissues. I hope you people remembered all these things. Huh? Then, the term cell, exactly the term cell was not used by Robert Hooke. He being a Latin scientist, he used a word called cellulate. That means chamber or compartment. In some books, they'll be using the word honeycomb. See, when cellular also means honeycomb. If you see the picture over here, this is the actual reference page from Micrographia, book written by Robert Hooke himself. So these are the honeycomb-like structures which he had observed under an instrument like this called a microscope at then. What he observed was only the dead cell wall. The material is cork. Okay. Then actual cell was first discovered by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He is a scientist who first observed the living cell. So first discovery of cell by Robert Hooke, first living cell observation by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. So there's a difference between the things. Okay. What he had observed was he had observed so many living objects like the cells RBC, WBC, yeast cells, sperm cells, and so many different organs of insects like a centipede, insect, cockroach, all the things he had observed. So he was the one who had given the term cell actually. Okay, so the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, but living cell was observed by Leeuwenhoek. That's the difference between the contribution of the two scientists to cell biology. Okay, then we discussed all these things in the starting session itself. Okay, now when come to the definition of cell. See, when we come to definition of cell, everybody know that's the basic unit. Basic unit of what? Functional aspect and structural aspect. Okay, cell is the basic functional and structural unit. So, based on this functional and structural aspect, cytology word can be defined. So, cytology means what? What is cytology? Yes, what does mean by cytology?
Study of cell.
Study of cell. That's all. What if I add study of cell, its components, functioning of cell, and structural aspect of cell? If I give all these options under cytology, which one will you pick up?
All of the above.
Yeah, all. Okay, yes. So here, as of Bhumika said, study of cell is the basic cytology. And what are options I gave? I just read out some options now, like study of cell, study of functioning of cell, study of structures within the cell. All these forms cytology. Okay. So this flowchart we studied earlier class itself. We studied everything about tissue, isn't it? So hopefully you know this flowchart. Cell, a specialized cell, they have taken muscle cell. So group of muscle cells will form a muscle tissue, and group of muscle tissues are there in a heart-like organ, and various such organs will form a system called circulatory system in this example. So the whole organization of body goes in this manner. Group of cells together forming tissue, then group of tissues together forming organ, and several such organs will make up organ system. And numerous organ systems will organize and make up the organism, whether it is a man body, animal body, or in this example, human body. While discussing the tissues, I had taken an example of digestive system. If you remember, we took an example, a cell, a stomach cell I had taken, and how the group of cells will make a tissue explained, and how a stomach organ will form a part of digestive system, and also systems will make up an organism. So this basic flowchart, I hope every one of you know, isn't it? Am I going a bit faster? Yeah, this is the example which I'm saying about the stomach and digestive system, the same level. But in some exams, they may go beyond cell in the flowchart. That's why I had taken this flowchart. See, from cell to organism flowchart, I know you are well aware of the things. Cell to tissue, tissue to organ, organ to organ system, then organism. But prior to cell, if the flowchart is given in blank form, then you can go for starting one atom. Isn't it? Whatever the object in this universe is made up of atoms. And numerous such atoms will form a molecule or compound, you can say. So many such molecules will form organelle. So here our interest comes, organelle. Organelles are nothing but the parts of cell. Okay. So the parts of cell are called organelles, like the nucleus is an organelle, mitochondria is another cell organelle, chloroplast, another cell organelle. Likewise, you are having endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, ribosomes, all these are organelles. You will find in cell. So prior to cell, if you go beyond cell flowchart, you may have atom as the starting point, then group of atoms making up molecule or compound, then group of such compounds or molecules making up organelle, and several such organelles will form cell. Clear? So these are the three prefix steps in the flowchart before cell in the level of organization. So probably a question can be asked in that way. Level of organization. What are different levels of organization? From cell, you know. Beyond cell, these are the steps. Atom, molecular compound, cell organelle. Okay? Then, so if you see the different characteristic features of a cell. So as of we are saying, cell is the smallest living unit. That you know. So why it is so small, we cannot see with the naked eye. It's submicroscopic, we call. And if you take the cells, how the cells originate? The cells originate from the pre-existing cell. What does this mean? This I'm going to explain about cell division. Okay. Now when you take cell division, usually in most of the textbook, they'll show a simple example like this. You will be having a parent cell within which this is the nucleus, assume. The nucleus gets divided. Okay. Then after the nucleus gets divided, the cytoplasm also divides like this. And you will get partition between the cells and the daughter cells will be formed. This is the simple format of cell division, usually they give as an introduction many books. But now I'll explain what are the division and how it happens. I'll do a new terminology regarding cell division. What we call in biology mitosis and meiosis. Have you heard these words earlier?
Ma'am, in mitosis, the cell divides to form two individual new cells having 46 pairs of.
46 pairs. Okay, go ahead, no problem, go ahead. Then, meiosis?
And meiosis occurs only in the germ cells of body, i.e. the sperms and the ovum.
Then, that's all? Okay, fine.
Equational division and
Equational.
I'm forgetting auntie.
Yeah, it's okay. You equational maths. You are including maths in biology. Okay, fine. That's good to hear a few more points regarding cell division. Anyway, I'm going to explain the whole cell division process here. When you take cell division, so here cell divides. Okay, how cell divides? That's the basic point. Now, when you take cell, assume that as a cell, and within cell you will be having nucleus. Probably we are talking about animal cell. Remember that in mind. Okay, plant cells will have different type of reproduction and cell divisions. First, we are interested in animal cells. Okay, if you understand animal cells, we can compare with plant cell. That's not a matter at all. When you take this as an animal cell, and this is the nucleus. And this whole is cytoplasm with the different cell organelles like mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, etc., etc. All cell organelles are there in the cytoplasm. Okay. Now, each cell, if you take, as we already discussed tissues, so I'm taking an example of nerve cell for that instance. Okay. Nerve cell we are taking. Assume that this is a nerve cell, and each such cell in our body, like if you take the stomach cell, or if you take part of intestinal cell, or you take heart muscle cell, whatever cell you take in human body, I'm talking about humans. Okay, in human body, each cell will have within the nucleus 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, understand the term chromosome. Chromosomes are the longitudinal structures which are there in nucleus. Right now, this is enough for you to understand. Okay, chromosome detailed structure we'll see later in nucleus session. Now here within this nucleus, you will have 23 pairs of chromosome. Pair means what? 2. So obviously, how many chromosomes each cell is having? 46, isn't it? So a nerve cell in this example is having 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nucleus and a coiled compact form. Now, what happens when cell division occurs? Cell division may occur in two ways. Either in equatorial fashion, equatorial mode, or reduction mode. Okay. Now, equatorial means what? Equal distribution. Here, this nerve cell will divide and you will get 2 new nerve cells like this. Nucleus, nucleus, the same structure with all the cytoplasm and cell organelles. So, what happens? What are the 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes present in this nerve cell? When it divides equally, nucleus divides and the chromosomes also divides equally. So what does that mean? You will get same 46 chromosomes in each daughter cell from this mother nerve cell. Okay, this happens in equatorial division. Whereas in reduction division, what happens? The same nerve cell will give rise to 4 daughter cells with same nucleus, cytoplasm and cytoplasmic organelles. Same, everything. The nucleus will be distributed equally. Okay, and the organelle is also distributed equally. But the number of chromosomes gets reduced. Each daughter cell, each of it will get only 23 chromosomes. Okay, so here you got 46 chromosomes as of from the parent cell, which we call equatorial division, whereas in reduction division, you will get 4 new offspring. I'm using a word offspring. So using this word makes you much familiar with biological terms. Daughter cells is a crude word, better we use offspring. So we got 4 offspring from the same nerve cell if the nerve cell goes for reduction division. So these are the 2 major kinds of cell division we'll observe in animal cell. Here I have taken human cell, especially nerve cell. Now coming to the terminology, this equatorial division where the whole number of chromosomes as it is were sent to the offspring. This division we call mitosis. Mitosis. Okay. Then coming to reduction division where you got 4 offspring and chromosome number reduced. Each one will have only 23 chromosomes. 23. Here also 23, 23, 23. What happened out of 46? We have reduced number of chromosome in the offspring. Such division is called meiosis. Clear? Meiosis. Mitosis is equatorial division. Meiosis is reduction division. These are the 2 types of cell division you will find in animal cell. Now when you take the mitosis and meiosis, by definition, what we call, I'm writing at the bottom of the slide, mitosis. Equal distribution of chromosomes. That's the word by definition. Okay, that's what I have shown in the example. Equal distribution of chromosomes. 46 chromosomes as it is went to the daughter cells. 46 chromosomes. Whereas meiosis, you have reduction in distribution of chromosomes. We got only 23 chromosomes. How this reduction happens, how this equal distribution happens, all that we learn in cell division. That's a separate concept. Under mitosis, you are having different phases. Under meiosis, you are having different phases. Different terms are there, different processes are there. Okay.